Hi, it's Barry here, and in this particular video I want to talk about advanced conversational hypnosis and some of the languaging that you can use to make yourself far more persuasive. Because when it comes down to conversational hypnosis, it's about creating a internal representation in the mind of the person. That's what we're really doing. It's not that we're programming the subconscious mind or anything like that. No, what we're doing is we're creating an internal representation. So, I mean, the classic thing is, if people talk about this, like the unconscious mind doesn't process a negative, which is just not true. But just as an example, if I say to you, don't think of a blue tree, the first thought that pops in your mind is a blue tree. That thought of a blue tree is an internal representation. And so me saying that, even though I said don't think of it, puts that thought in your mind. So that's an internal representation. So when you think of something, you think of, I don't know, performing hypnosis somewhere or working with a client. When you think of it, you're creating an internal representation. And that's what we're really working with when we're working with hypnosis and NLP, about changing the internal representation. And so the first pattern we're going to be looking at are what are called binds. These are really powerful linguistic constructions which give the illusion of choice. And this is the key word, is the illusion of choice. We're giving someone two options. Either way, either one they pick, the internal representation is still the one we want them to go down. So we're giving them an illusion of choice. So a bind is just simply, a simple bind just offers two choices. So in hypnosis terms, you might, if you've got a client coming into you, might say, do you want to go into hypnosis in that chair or in that chair? Either way, they're going into hypnosis, right? So you're giving them the illusion of choice. Which chair do they want to go into hypnosis with? But the reality is the internal representation is they're still going into hypnosis. So we might say, do you want to go into hypnosis sitting down or standing up? Again, there's an illusion of choice. And so this basic structure of binds is really powerful because it's giving them an illusion. And so it's really that simple. You're offering two choices. Either way, they reach the outcome. However, we can increase the power of binds dramatically by linking cause and effect presuppositions in them. And this is where it gets really powerful. And this is the area that most people don't teach because they just do the single binds. But this is like the inside secrets to being really powerful at advanced conversational hypnosis structures. And so if we combine them with a cause-effect presupposition, it creates a causal link. In other words, it implies that if whichever one they choose causes another behavior as well, which is really powerful. So let's have a look at some of those constructions. So in a simple bind, would you like to try the breathing exercise for 5 minutes or for 3 rounds of 2 minutes? So let's say you're working with someone with anxiety, you could offer them that choice. And either way, they're doing the breathing exercise, right? So we're just offering them simple two choices, which is great, and that will work fine. However, what if we link in a cause and effect structure in there? Would you like to try the breathing exercise for 5 minutes so your heart rate eases, or do 3 rounds and feel calmer for the rest of the day? And so there's the cause and effect structure there. So when you've got the word so, that's a cause and effect presupposition, and is a simple causal link. So really powerful way of using minds and incorporating cause and effect structures, which really create a change in the mind of the person and affects this internal representation. So let's say you're working with someone with performance anxiety, like an actor or a singer. Do you want to practice the opening line once now so you'll feel steady, or twice so you'll feel confident on stage? So we've given them the illusion of choice, but we've linked it to a causal structure. There's a cause and two causes and effects going on there. This makes it so much more powerful. Let's say you're speaking to someone on the phone about booking a session. Do you want the 9 a.m. session so that you can have the rest of the day free, or the 11 o'clock appointment so you can have the rest of the morning to prepare. So again, we're giving them the illusion of choice, but also making the causal thing so they can go beyond the actual decision to book the appointment. So really important way of being more persuasive. How about parenting? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to use language to influence your kids better and get them to maybe do what you're asking them to do? So do you want to tidy now so you can watch your show, or tidy after dinner and miss the first 20 minutes? Now, there's two choices there. Like, there's the choice that or the illusion of choice. Either way, they're going to tidy read, but the second one has a consequence. So that creates even more power to wanting to tidy. So really powerful structure there. So let's have a look at the structure of this. Here's the basic framework. Would you rather A, so B happens, or C, so D happens? Now, what I recommend that you do, and this is what I learned many years ago, about 30 odd years ago when I trained with Richard Bandler and we were learning language patterns. What we had to do was get a construction like this and write out 100 examples of each one. I know you're thinking 100. Yeah, because what that will do is that will start installing this into you so that you just do it automatically. So write out 100 examples of that in your particular context that you want to work with. Another construction, if you choose A, you will get X, or choose B and get Y. So that's another example. Or do you want to do A now so that Z, or do B later and get Z as well? And so these language patterns are really, really powerful. So I highly recommend that you practice these over and over again. Write out at least 100 examples of them and then start using them with your clients or people you're trying to influence, because you can use these binds not just with your clients, but in any situation to become more effective a communicator. So if you really want to get good at advanced conversational hypnosis, these are some of the major patterns you need to be learning. Okay, so I want you to, if you want to, like and subscribe to the channel, because I'll be posting more videos just like this, looking at more language patterns, so you can really become excellent at conversational hypnosis.